Damn, you hopped on quick. What's up, Natanya? How you doing? Um, honestly, this is a spontaneous stream. Um, yeah, we're gonna have people. Yo, what's good? What's good? Where are you guys all tuning in from? I thought it would be cool to react to this today. Um, Adin Ross did a stream with Trump, and the reason why I think it'll be interesting to see and kind of react to this real quickly is more so like the significance behind it. Like, who would have thought, what, 8 years ago, that a streamer, right, especially like Aiden Ross, will be the one to get like an hour long interview with a presidential candidate? And yeah, I mean, like how much like I think people are slow. Yeah, Logan Paul did a stream too. Um, But I think like a lot of presidential candidates need to use this. And I know like a lot of more so like fringe candidates have used this, like Tulsi Gabbard, what's her name? What's his name? Vivek, when he was like running. But I think this is like quite significant, especially like this deep in the election cycle, for like Trump to use like a streamer, right? To like get his message out. Have you guys watched this yet? Type of one in the chat if you haven't watched it. Type of two if you have. But this just came out, at least on YouTube, the full stream of it. So I just wanted to talk about this. Yeah, and what's been interesting though is definitely I think like more right creators have been embracing this. Okay, so some of you have watched it. He did the same thing with Logan Paul and Paul. Yeah, but this is different though, because I mean, was that a stream? Because in this case, this is like a live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a stream. So I think that's also like the significance behind it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just like the only one that's like it's pretty kind of crazy that I think like a streamer was able to get like an interview like this, and also for a presidential candidate to agree. But before we get into it, I'm gonna like get some people to pull up. But where are you guys all tuning in from? Where are you guys all tuning in from? I'll be reacting to this video for those who are coming in now. When is Gen for president? Maybe in the future, man. Maybe in the future. But one thing I do think though is that 100% a content creator, like the big content creators will become a president in the future. I mean, shit. Even Mr. Beast was saying that he would want to run for president. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. I think right now there's like a lot of controversy with what's going on right now. Yeah. See, he was like, if we lower the age for president, I'll jump in the race. So I 100% think that the next president of like our generation, look, I'm 27. I'm sure you guys are around that age or at least in your 20s. The next presidents will 100% be a president. I think Mr. Beast is going to be fine. I don't know. What do you guys think he's fucked? I know, yeah, I know there's been a lot of like things coming out about him saying that like he's been like deleting comments. Hot take? Is that really a hot take that the next president is going to be a content creator? What's good? What's good? What's good? But yeah, guys, I don't know. Chat, are you guys interested in this? Before you guys say like I'm biased, no, it's more so I just think it's really cool. I would love for Kamala to go on a stream with probably like like Aiden Ross's equivalent is like what, Hasanabi or some shit. I think that would be super cool. Like we need more so of like these like hour long podcasts instead of like all the interviews that you see on like Fox and stuff that are like 5 minute segments. Like, how are you gonna know what like a person is like? Anyone can script themselves for 5 minutes, but I think for like an hour, that's very, very hard to do. I'm not sure if the next president will be a content creator, but I'm sure social media presence will be important. Sneeko and Hassan Hubby election? What? What's good? What's good? Where are you guys all tuning in from? Let me know. Today I was spending I was filming a video. I was filming a video at a survival bunker. That was extremely interesting. Right here. It was with yeah, it was with this one. I was filming a video at a survival bunker. And it's kind of crazy. It's like a bunch of like these people. It's a business. So you can literally pay like a yearly stipend and get access to like a survival condo. So like when shit hits the fan, and obviously they believe that's gonna happen in like the near future, people can go there, hole up. They have like stockpiles of food. They have a shit ton of guns. They let me shoot some. And yeah, they had like guard dogs. They had like self-sustaining farms and livestock. So that was cool. Chat, where you guys all tuning in from? Ohio, Texas. Ken is a gun tuber? No. However, I will be filming this Friday at a helicopter hog hunting thing. So, where are you living again? I'm in Austin. Yo, Finn, appreciate that, man. What's up, big bro? Like the way you do the viz. Appreciate it. Thanks for that. Really appreciate it. Philly, Arizona. Is my I can't tell if my chat is lagging or not. But all right, chat, let me know. W or L, you guys want me to watch this? Type of W if you guys want me to start reacting to this. We got a good 76 in here. I love it. We can't hear you. All right, chill out. Okay, W. Okay. Am I actually muted? All right, shut the fuck up. All right. Turn the volume a little bit. Dude, this is like the highest it can go. All right, maybe I need to yell or some shit. Is the volume low? Okay, shut the bro. When I said I wanted a funny chat, this isn't what I meant. Is the volume low or not? It's fine. Okay. And the chat's too slow, so I can't hear. All right, guys, let's get into this.
What's going on?
Well,
can you guys hear all right?
It's going to be the most important stream I've ever done.
Type of one if it's sounding good, and you guys can still hear me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Get some good ratings today.
We're going to get some good ratings. Everyone thought this was going to be fake
Okay, good.
But, we proved them wrong. So.
No, you're right in the living room of Mar-a-Lago, which I don't allow this to be ever done. So you're the
I think their audio was kind of fucked up, though. Can you guys hear them all good?
And my son Barron says hello. He's a great young guy, but he's a big fan of yours.
I think like the mic kept like going in and out. Yeah, Trump is like quiet.
He's tall. Very tall.
He's tall, good student.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Let me just increase the speed a little bit.
I do want to first off, say this.
Just like some ADHD shit. I always like. Do you guys
everyone
always watch like videos? Videos quiet.
Okay. For this country, and I really
How's
appreciate
this?
You. And yeah, I'm really thrilled we can do this today.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me a. That's great.
Ciao.
I
Is it good?
so do you know what live streaming is on these platforms?
More or less, yeah. More or less. It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. I'm gonna explain it to you, all right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you this. So this is the live chat. Right. So you already broke the website in 5 minutes.
Oh really?
Yeah,
wow.
you broke it. The chat
Do you guys
wasn't
know
working.
how many like viewers they
they're
got?
fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi.
For
in the
anyone
chat.
who watched this live.
W's mean it's good. W means win. Yeah. Yep. So they're putting W's and stuff. Yep. W Trump. All right. So yeah, everyone is just super thrilled.
Well, you're gonna have big ratings today.
Damn, they even got like a live audience in the back. Like, what the hell?
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Elon actually already.
Wait, did he say that they hit 1 million? 500K plus? That's insane. Dude, think about that. That's 500,000 people watching something live, a live stream. And I think that's also why I want to get into live streaming is like this impact. I just had this idea in the shower. Like I've been filming all day. I was driving for like 5 hours total today. I got back. I was just planning on relaxing, but then I saw this and I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get on it. But for like me producing a video, like the video that I produced today, that's going to take like what, 2-3 weeks to be able to like edit it, put it together, create a storyline, all that. Like streaming is crazy because I can just turn this shit on and just like that, boom, right? Like we're live. Like that's like wild to me. So Kama Sutra can't draw. I don't even know who that is. But sorry, let's keep watching.
He commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well, Elon is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really a fantastic person. Little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
How they fuck up the
Rockets,
audio? Though?
tunnels, and
Come on now.
everything. He's a fantastic guy.
He's
Can
great.
you guys hear him all good, though?
Let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool? Let's
Let's
have a good
go.
time. All right, well, the first thing is, the reason why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of people that are first-time voters watching today. And I want to make it very clear to everybody that you're a human being, you're a great human being. I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some oldsters too.
So you know what's also like interesting too, guys, is I will try not to pause it too much. Let me know if I'm pausing this shit too much. But one thing that's been crazy, or like what I've noticed recently, is like how much more socially accepted it is for people to like Trump. Like I don't know how old like most of you guys are, but in like 2016 when he first ran and won. Dude, it was like wearing like the "Make America Great Again" hat, like the MAGA hat, was like saying the N word, like yelling the N word out in public. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like I was just at like Whole Foods like the other day, and I just saw like a light skinned black dude wearing like a "Make America Great Again" hat. And just like even here in Austin, right? Like, yes, it is in Texas, but it's like the most like liberal city of like of Texas. I could not even imagine seeing that a couple of years ago. But I think like ever since this year and this election, it's 100% become a lot more accepted. And I think like a big part of it though is like everything that has kind of like happened since like I think COVID. I think a lot of people got a lot more distrustful of our institutions, right? Whether it be your media, government. I think we're like living in like this post-trust age, if you want to call it that. Where like people are kind of just sick of like the establishment, right? And I think a lot of people, and I think how Trump has really marketed himself, like at the end of the day, guys, he's still like a fucking billionaire. How he's been able to like market himself is like kind of like this anti-establishment figure. Part of me is like, okay, how much can you be anti-establishment if you've, won the presidency and also, still in like the running for it? I think people can make the argument that, hey, maybe it was like an inside job when they try to assassinate him and they're doing everything they can to get rid of him. But I feel like to get up to like this level of being able to run for presidency, like you're gonna have to play the game of politics. You're gonna have to appease certain people, right? So I don't know. We'll get back into it, but it's just been interesting to me how much people have, just kind of socially accepted him. And I think a big part of it since like I'm sure the assassination kind of helped too, and how he survived that. I guess one thing that's been interesting today is since I was talking to those people, for those who just joined, I filmed a video today with like these survival bunker guys, where they essentially have a business where they create a survival community. They have like everything that's self-sustaining, and they like run like a lot of simulations, right? Like the guy who runs it was like this Harvard graduate, like genius. He used to be like a colonel in like the military, crazy guy. And he told me that like a civil war is like quite imminent. Not the civil war that we view in terms of like what it was like in 1865, but more so like just all this division that's happening within our country, or in states like starting to defy like federal law, like what happened with Texas and like the border, and how like Texas just released their own state troops to secure the border and define like the National Guard. I think it might be imminent, but who knows? I think the biggest thing is what would have happened if like the assassination attempt was successful. I don't know. That's the question. But I'm gonna stop yapping. But hey, guys, we're almost hitting that 100. Drop a one in the chat if you're a new viewer, man. I think this is like my fourth stream and all that. But also, people who keep saying I can't hear you speak, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut up. Gelato #1. And for those who are new, also drop where you're from, man. Like we got a super international audience. 110. I'm only seeing 96, but let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Also know some oldsters that are listening and watching, but it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have a country that's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago we're having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way. And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, a job so you can make the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible. Right?
I'm trying to get like you, boss.
But
Isn't it crazy how like Adin Ross is like worth like 200 mil or some shit like that? See, that's also the craziest part about streaming, guys. Is like that's where the money's at right now.
you'll love your life and you'll be successful.
Damn. Okay, wait. So where is everyone from? Forehead. Okay, chill out. That got me. I literally thought that was an actual town. Forehead Tech. Fuck you. PDX. Oh, that's where I'm from. Shout out. SD. Okay, so mostly the. Okay, Mexico City. Fuck yeah, dude. I really want to go to Mexico City, man. So it's like top of my list right now.
And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. We had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And they sort of, what they did, it was really a coup.
Dude, the way Trump talks
14 million
is so
votes, he had it.
funny, like,
and all
all
of
the
a sudden they
hand
went to him and they
movement.
said, we don't want you running anymore. And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. Here, you're focused on this one man,
Right.
and all of a sudden you're fighting somebody else. But she's actually worse than he is. And you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that it's going to be very...
Hey, Forehead, mind your own Japanese business. Yes, sir. If you don't fucking go join your brothers in England right now, I swear to God, bro.
very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
Yeah,
I have
this
no
is sped up.
question.
This
And
is
again,
1.25.
Mr. President, I'm not really fully into politics, but I'm getting there, and I do want to make this very clear as well. Now it's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay, and a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things, and the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have teachers, discuss politics in school. But it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers, and you're a kid, when you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge. Sure, that's true. So I want to know what your thoughts on that, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
So I think a lot of like the whole teachers like teaching LGBTQ and stuff, like I'm sure that happens, right? There's like video evidence and certain like books like being passed around in libraries that should not be there. I don't doubt that, right? And I even made like a video on it. You can go check it out. I think it's like, should LGBTQ be taught in schools? I think the biggest conclusion though is like those are like the most like extreme like edge cases, and clearly, right, that's what's going to make its rounds on like Twitter and stuff. Most teachers are good. Most teachers aren't trying to indoctrinate kids. However, I think like where he's going with this too is that most teachers are liberal. I think most of academia education is liberal. And I think it's really wrong when teachers try and push their own political ideology on kids, especially in like public schools. I don't think that should be happening.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from along.
Bro, have you looked into books? The craziest teaching kids how to masturbate. Yeah, no, like, there's definitely been some crazy ass like books. Like, I just don't understand like what this like push is. Right? Again, I do think those are edge cases. But why the fuck are they even trying to show books like that? Like to kids, man. Like this isn't like homophobia or anything to not want to show that. It's just whether it's straight or gay sex, like don't show that shit in schools, bro.
Long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like the term liberal. You're not allowed to use that anymore, so I usually use it. But this liberal way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country. We want to have borders, we want to have low taxes, we want to have great schools, really, great schools so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves from some bad players. Some bad players out there.
Like, what the
and
fuck,
it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. We had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars. And just the opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, oh, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
Big nuclear presence. I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated them in a very short amount of time,
I remember.
very quickly. And we had no wars under the Trump administration, and that's a great thing.
hard to
That's a
hear,
really
huh?
great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before we even get there. That's the problem. We have a number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetence.
Yeah, the audio's pissing me off. I can barely follow him. I hope they like fix it as they go. Like, bro, how the fuck do they fuck up the audio for an interview like this?
People, we have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of
Oh my
stock market
God.
crashes or
Yes, I'm watching on 1.25x speed. Is this too fast for you guys?
depressions or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military danger. We have Israel's blowing up, the Middle East is blowing up, Russia's going wild with Ukraine.
All right,
And
okay,
things are out of
let me slow it
control. And we
down.
have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching when Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't. But they never. After I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes, and Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong, and ultimately they attacked. And they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So we got to get back in and get it straightened out. We'll
Definitely.
get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You know, you had mentioned, you know, the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw
Yeah,
the,
did you
the,
guys
the
see
post
that?
you made on your app,
Stock
Truth.
market absolutely
You know,
tanked
what I
today.
just saw yesterday and the day before, you know, I'm in crypto and I'm in
Right.
stocks myself.
Right.
And I couldn't believe what's going on. You know, you have Japan.
But okay, to be fair though, I oftentimes people blame or give credit to like the president for like how the economy is going. Like, how much control does the like president really have? Unless it's like absolutely like, I guess, egregious and he's like completely fucking up, then I can see that could like impact it in like the short term. But do like presidents really have that much of like a effect on how like the economy does? I mean, of course, right? Like I said, if you're like Maduro in Venezuela and you're a dictator and you're, you know, causing hyperinflation, then of course, right? But like an American president, do you have that much like say or like that much like control over like how the economy does? It's like sometimes we give like blame or credit to the president for certain things that they don't even have like control of, right? But instead of like things that may actually like be something that they can directly influence.
And you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, you know, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running? And, you know, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day. He can't get up. He wants to stay
Bro,
in bed.
this
He was-
audio's
no, it was a
pissing me
fraud.
off.
They tried to tell people he was competent. He knew what he was doing.
I can't even like
And in
follow
the
it.
debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years too. You know, he campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign. I said, "Where is this guy during COVID?" They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. It's they put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we
Okay,
have
thank God. Hopefully they
probably, I
fixed
think,
it.
Aiden, 20 million people came into our country with open borders, and many come from prisons. And you can be a liberal, and your people can be, but coming from some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America.
What do you guys think about immigration? I think that's been interesting with this like particular administration right now. And like I think especially leading up to like the election over this past like 12 months, right? Like I even went to like the border crisis right down in Texas, right? In Eagle Pass, Texas, where I saw like a border convoy do a bunch of protests. And I saw like a bunch of like Trump what's it called, flags there and everything. It was more like a Trump rally rather than like some like, you know, malicious like protest. I think like the biggest thing that's you know difficult is if you're gonna let in a bunch of like illegal immigration, then you need to make legal immigration a lot easier, right? I think that's like my stance on it. It's like, look, at the end of the day, America is a country of immigrants, and we do need immigrants to do certain jobs, right? There are jobs that certain people don't do. But what I don't understand is why do we not prioritize like the top talent of immigration, right? Like the immigrants that maybe came to the U.S. to for an education. So now they were here for a student visa, and then they graduate, and most times those graduates actually have to go back home unless they can find like a company that will sponsor them. Like, what if we incentivize more of those students that studied at an American university, started to learn the culture, maybe oftentimes maybe even the language, and started mastering that? Why don't we prioritize giving those types of immigrants visas, right? Because like immediately they're looking to work, they can contribute to the economy, right? And yeah, I think in many ways, right? Diversity is I'm in full support of it. It does bring its share of problems. Let's not shy away from that. But I also think it's what makes America great. Is like for example, my parents are immigrants, right? My dad came because of school, a med school, and he was able to complete that, and then get his like citizenship, right? And then my mom is born in Japan as well, but then she married my dad, and then that's how she got the citizenship. So she has a green card, right? So they both essentially are American. My dad's an American citizen. My mom is here with like a green card. They did it like the legal way. I think like what's like tough, and especially for those who are waiting for that, is if you're seeing a bunch of like, what didn't they say, like it's like how many immigrant like illegal immigrants like came in over like the past 12 months? Is 20 million, is that the real figure? Let me look this up. How many illegal immigrants came over the last 12 months? Do you guys have a guess? Is it actually 20 million? That sounds insanely high. Okay, 6 million essentially. Wait, no. Am I tripping? 20 million? Is that actually true? 20 million is insane. Several million, whatever. Right? I think it's just difficult because that makes it so much harder for those who are trying to go the legal way. It was like, and the reason why I'm also even like talking about this too is like, look, my girlfriend's Brazilian, right? She has only the Brazilian citizenship. Like, let's say we get like married, right? Like, that's a very hard process for her to get like a green card. She had like, I think if we get like married, she has to come here. We have to stay here for 2 years. We can't leave like the country. So it's extremely difficult to do so. It's like, I say this jokingly, but I'm like, if you enter illegally, like shit, it might even be like easier for you. Who's your girlfriend? Chat, if you want to see my personal life and stuff, follow me on Instagram. Sunder, you can link my Instagram as well as the Discord too. But it's like you could say that as like a joke that it's like easier, but at this point, if it's that easy to do so, it's not a joke, right? So, Laser, get off my dick and my girlfriend's dick. Chill, bro. All right, let's get back into it.
All over the world, from the Congo and Africa, they come from all over the world. They're coming, and they're releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing. No. They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States, and they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime. And it's going to take on proportions alike.
I need to like stretch res Family Guy in the corner. Do you guys really need to see what is it? Fucking Subway Surfers to be able to pay attention? I will literally put some. Okay. Do you guys really need that? That's fucking insane. All right, this is for the ADHD folks. We're cooked. We're cooked if you guys need this. Oh, I don't even know how to show this. Shit. Okay, I'm not showing that. You guys need to fucking pay attention.
Likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions, prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in. So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young
Is that
audience.
true, though?
But
Is
a
it
young
terrorists?
audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about
I mean,
this.
I know like
No.
criminals have came in, but I also have to assume like, guys, at the end of the day, I think at the end of most of these people who are entering in, whether it be legally or not, also are trying to come to better their life, right? Like, I cannot imagine. Yeah, that is fear mongering, 100% Indiana. Like, at the end of the day, most of these people are literally risking their lives. They're not only like fucking traveling on foot through like extremely hot conditions in the desert, especially at summer now. They're like contracting essentially the cartel, the Mexican cartel, to help them get through what they call mules, right? To essentially get them through. And then, especially in Texas, they have to cross the Rio Grande River, right? Like people have drowned in that process. So it's not a easy process to do so, right? So if you want to go be a terrorist, there's probably million other countries that is easier to enter and do some damage in. So most of these illegal immigrants, even though they are entering illegally, they are doing it to improve their life, whether that be to get better opportunities so they can send remittances to their family back home. Like especially even this year, there's Chinese immigrants that will literally fly from China to, I believe, Ecuador, and then travel from foot to Ecuador all the way up, where I think they like take some buses and different things like that. But they then travel all the way up to Mexico to then get the help from these groups that offer it as a service to get them across like the border. So like, if you want to be a fucking terrorist, there's so many probably other way easier avenues in which you can do so. So, it's obviously fear mongering at that point, but I do want to make that clear. You can be against illegal immigration. And, I think for me, it's like, of course it's illegal, so you should be against it. Right. But you do also need to realize that like people are risking their lives to be able to come here. And that should tell you something about at least like the opportunities that are here in America, in which you're literally risking your life to be able to come here, right? Whether or not like the American dream and all that is still alive, or if it was ever alive, that's up to another debate. But it doesn't justify breaking the law. Of course not, the AA, but they're not all just terrorists and criminals.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken. A lot of
Jobs,
crime. So what President Trump? What do we do to fix that issue? What if I happen to be
Taking money out of our economy to spend back home? Yeah, no, that's true. That is terrible. Yeah. And I think, obviously a lot of resources go there to even house these like illegal immigrants. So I agree, like that shouldn't be what we should be prioritizing our money on, especially when we already have a bunch of native homeless people in this country already, right? So I think that's why when it comes to like immigration, we should be prioritizing, for lack of better words, the high quality ones, the ones that maybe just graduated college, came to an American college so they can do like those are going to be ones that are literally immediately ready to also contribute to the economy, pay taxes, raise GDP, all the beautiful things that American capitalism offers, right? But yeah, it's clearly a hard topic. But I think that's like the conclusion that I'm arriving to. And guys, right? Like I've talked to many people on both sides of it. I've talked to illegal immigrants, not for like a video yet, but just like in my past, right? And I made like a video talking to people on the border too, So, that's kind of like what I'm arriving at.
be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's what we want. We want people to come in, but they have to come in through a system, through a legal system. And, one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem.
I agree with
going in.
that.
I don't even know why
I
they're
agree
doing
with
this.
that.
Some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they
Yes.
studied, they learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and
Right.
they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really
I agree with
rough
Trump on
places,
this.
really
100%.
bad places. And they
Why is
come
it
in through
harder for people
caravans.
who
and,
want to
these
follow the law?
caravans have 10,
That's a
20,
really bad
30,000
incentive
people.
system.
And
If you
they're-
want to look at results, you always need to look at incentives. And if you're incentivizing making it easier to come in illegally to be able to get citizenship over actually going the right way, who in their fucking right mind would want to go the legal way? Might as well just cross the border.
pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in.
Wow.
They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release him into our country. I said, no. We catch a criminal and we release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
You know, it's one of those things. There's so many things. They are so bad. It's like amateur night. It's either
Yeah, that's a good point. Legitimate question. Why did he not simplify this system when he was in power? Good point. Good point.
amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right. Do you what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation.
Before we get into the Venezuela stuff, and guys, tell me if I'm like stopping this way too much. I just want to, it's also I just want to add my own points to this shit. One comment that I just saw. Can anyone explain any of Kamala's policies or positions to me? I was actually talking about this with the people in the bunker today. It was like, they're definitely more, I guess how they describe themselves is libertarian. And because I asked them one question I asked was like, okay, people who buy into the survival community, what's like the common profile? And they said like, one, distrust the government. I mean, obviously, if they're taking matters into their own hands, and two, that a lot of them are libertarian. But anyways, what we were talking about is, yeah, one thing that's been interesting is like, I want to find unbiased positions on Kamala because I want to give her a fair chance too, right? Like, what is her policies? Like, what is she campaigning about? What is like her message? But I think that's the biggest thing is like what MC just said. Can anyone explain it? Like, I don't think she's released anything yet. There's no policy positions besides I'm a black woman. I'm a black Indian woman. That's been her policy. And in a way, that's how she got elected, right? I think like Biden literally said, I want a minority female vice president. And that's how she became vice president. Like she was like, bro, she was getting absolutely crushed in the primaries. Because if you guys don't know, Kamala ran in 2020 for the Democratic nominee, right? Presidential campaign. And she fucking dropped out because she was like one of the most unpopular ones. And yeah, like right now she's like, I think she was like also, she's like one of the most like unpopular vice presidents or something. And to be honest, who knows even what like vice presidents do. But I just want to at least see some policies and also some like unbiased information on like what she's trying to accomplish. And I think that's not like a crazy ask, is it? I mean, look, if you're a staunch Democrat, you should be asking for that instead of I'm a black minority Indian woman. Like, what the fuck? She's growing coconut trees. She'll appropriate any race, apparently. She acts ghetto only when she's around black people. Bro, that has got to be the most fucking annoying shit. Hey, do we have any black people in this chat? Like, bro, that has got to be the most annoying shit, right? And like, I can even speak to it from like experience. Like, you guys know like those types, right? Like the people who are like super obsessed with like Japan. They like watch anime and they're like overly obsessed with like Japanese culture. They're usually like white dudes, right? They've they will sometimes come up to me and like speak Japanese. And look, that's acting. I think it's like really cool, especially if you took like the time to like learn it. But then sometimes they will ask me about like anime references. Like I'm supposed to like fucking know that. Like I'm a fucking anime Wikipedia. Like I don't even watch fucking anime, right? But then they just assume so because I'm Japanese. What I'm saying with all this is like, don't you like minorities in the chat? Don't y'all fucking hate it when like just people just like code switch on you just to like relate with you? I think it's just super cringe. It's just like I get that they're coming from like good intentions, but it just feels like manipulative and just like dirty. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Finn, thank you for the $2. Literally my cousin. What do you wait? Explain a little bit more. But yeah, it's just like there. I don't think any minority is like, yeah, bro. I love it when like people try and like pander and like change their personalities so they can like appease me. And I think especially it must be annoying for black people, man. Okay, so the black people in the chat, like I'm curious too if like if a politician like started just talking like in ebonics and ghetto and acted black, like that, wouldn't that be extremely insulting? Like what if like fucking Trump just started like talking like an Asian ass accent to like I don't know, the Asian community. Like I would be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? you know? I think the biggest thing, and guys, right? I think like the craziest shit is when fucking Joe Biden said like I don't know how this was not talked about enough. What in the Breakfast Club when he said if you don't vote for me then you're not black. I'm not gonna play the clip right now. I wanna stay focused on this. But do you guys remember that clip? Like how was that not talked about enough? I think the biggest thing that I want to say is that like no matter what side you're on, you got to admit that like the media treatment that they gave Biden compared to Trump is like completely night and day. And I think that's so unfair, man. It's like I mean, I think that's also what's contributed to this, right? That's why Trump is willing to go on like a fucking live stream with Adin and talk for like an hour versus doing that same thing. And these mainstream media outlets won't even do that and sit down with like with a mainstream media outlet because like the treatment is completely unfair. And I think like that's such a bad look, man. Like as media, especially when it comes to like presidential things, like you at least needed to be able to like ask like objective unbiased questions. You can challenge them, but in a way where it's not like a gotcha. Like and I think that's why like Trump has built like the brand that he built because he calls people out on those things, you know? Again, what do you think about those segregated Zoom calls? What is that? But anyways, let's get back into it. See, this is also why I'm like I stop this shit too much, and I go on these yap sessions. So y'all gotta let me know if I'm yapping too much.
Out there.
Well, I know it very well, and Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela.
It's
Venezuela
crazy.
was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. They're in our country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into all of our cities.
Yeah.
And I'm kidding.
I know.
The reason I have to say that, because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela. They are so bad, it's hard to believe. But anyway, so Venezuela, their crime is down 72%. Because they've taken their criminal elements, which are large, it was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities, and they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so.
I do want to like pause and like show you guys just like actually a very recent example. So I think Trump was at like a black journalist convention or some shit. And I think he was getting like really hostile questions. And I think this is also like, I think the reporter was from ABC, and it's hard to blame her too, right? Because it's like, that's what she was kind of just paid to do. But let's see if I can find something that like actually shows it. Let's see here. Do you guys know the clip? I think, yeah, let's see here.
Appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from.
So yeah, I think I mean, you guys can kind of get the point, right? We'll keep watching this clip, but it's like, dude, I'm viewing it from like how I would want to question people that I disagree with. Like, she clearly disagrees with him. That's totally fine. But like, do you really think that's how you're gonna get this guy to talk? Especially this guy who's like kind of built his brand off of like calling out journalists. The fake news like phrase has literally been popularized by him. Like, how do you really expect this motherfucker to like actually answer and want to have a conversation with you when you started out like this, you know?
You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys.
Like, that's not in, like, there's no way in context he fucking said that shit. You know what I'm saying for it? Like, there's no way.
Attack black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think
Like, that's an insane question, bro. How does anybody fucking respond to that? Oh, Guilherme, thank you, man. Hi again from Brazil. You make great content. I need to say sorry for what the media of my country try to do with you, man, here in Brazil. Don't you worry. I will be making a response very, very soon. I'll be talking about the part 2 of the video, and I'll be explaining to you, to all my 400K subscribers on YouTube, about what exactly Brazilian media did and attacking your boys. So don't worry. I have a response video coming up right now. We're working on it, and should be out in like the next 2 weeks or so. But appreciate the love from Brazil, man. I love Brazil. Yeah, it's like, you know, let's take a look at this clip.
I think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network.
See, like, you can see why, like, this man has like a fucking cult following. You know, like, there's no many other like fucking politicians that could say that. But I think he's like, he like rolled it back. You guys remember how fucking insane this motherfucker was like in 2016? No, even like 2020. He was saying the craziest shit, but he's like rolled it back.
And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and you know, and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long...
You should interview Trump. I would be happy to interview any of the presidential candidates, man. Guys, we gotta fucking blow up so I can be the moderator for the presidential debates. That's our goal, guys. That's our goal that we're gonna set as a channel. And also, guys, thank you for the love. This is a record for the live stream so far, 144. We're climbing up. I told y'all. You guys are tuning in. You guys are showing me love. I'm bringing the energy. Guys, we're gonna keep innovating on the streams, man. We need more reasonable voices when it comes to streams. And we can do it. Another forehead W. Why can't he just answer the question? Right now, wait, are you talking to me? Again, where's my interview? Bro, give me when people ask like why, like, give me an interview, why should I interview you? Like, give me a reason. Like, if it's just like for a video, what is the video for? What's your channel? What do you want to talk about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that?
Long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go.
Okay, you guys get the point. Let's watch the stream.
I don't think they're thrilled. I don't think so. So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview. Okay. It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly, what they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Adin. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not smart. No. And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she is, look, she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who.
Bro, he's got to be probably the funniest, like, president. He is pure entertainment. Like, that's I think what both sides can at least say. Like, this motherfucker's funny, bro.
We have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra left, ultra radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General of California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco was the best city in our country 20 years ago.
It's true. San Francisco is amazing, man. Like, in terms of, like, objectively the most prettiest city in America, it's San Francisco. And I know because I went to school in the Bay Area. But yeah, like, I made a video on it, right? San Francisco looks dramatically different now. I mean, look, I don't think it's the fault of, like, just Kamala Harris. I mean, I don't think that's genuine. But yeah, so many of the politics there, I think, has led to, yeah, a lot of businesses having to leave because there's so much vandalism, homelessness. It's impossible to run a business there.
And now it's not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're going to have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. You know, I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar homes that do what I do, content, they're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really
No.
they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot,
And that is
and
true.
leave like nothing ever happened.
That's actually
it's
true.
Crazy.
There is literally a law, and guys, check out my video on San Francisco. Mods, you can link that video if people want to watch. You can steal shit for under $1,000 and not get fucking imprisoned. Like, that's insane. $1,000, bro. Like, you guys can go to San Francisco, get some shoes. I'm not endorsing it. But technically it wouldn't be considered theft.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500, where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if they get nabbed, they say, no, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Right.
And she started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership. We didn't have stuff like this. When you look at what's happened to this country, and you look at other countries, crime rates all over the world are down. You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only the people on the streets, the people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America. And our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely hard evidence that, like, criminals have, gotten in through these open borders. But again, I still will stand strong. Look, I mean, I don't even know if there's statistics to back this up, but I think it's just common sense. Most people are just trying to make a living, man. But of course, if they commit crimes to do that, then they got to face the repercussions.
Through the roof. And, if we win, and I hope we win, we should win, we seem to be winning. And, you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals. So they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable, and they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were let. But if they do their job, they have their pension knocked out, they have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away, everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job. We're going to have to let them do their job. We have a crime-infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation, and we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah. I want to move topics.
It's so funny to like see Adin Ross be like super professional and shit. Like this guy. I mean, dude, I have all respect for him. Like as a business guy, like, dude, he got his bag, man, and he knows what he's doing, man. He like kind of like presents himself as like this dumb guy, but he's extremely, extremely smart, especially when it comes to business. But it's so fucking weird to see him be like all serious and shit. Cause like he wants to say like some like gay shit. It's just like just like how he like usually does on his streams. So funny. Is the mic quiet? Nah, there's no way. So far, Trump hasn't said anything stupid. 150 people wasting their night watching this Asian man. Hey, you already know, man. Now 160.
A little bit here. I saw. I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi, hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart. And I think you handled it pretty well. But I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think like they just straight up do that for you, but then they're gonna ask the other side, oh, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, I did this as a favor, and this was the black journalist.
Oh, so they're now talking about that black journalist clip that I just showed you guys.
It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever it was back.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying,
so funny,
hello,
bro.
thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to do it. But then Kamala said, she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. She's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it.
That's true. I mean, that's why I think this is so important, man. Like, I would be doing, like, look, I would be reacting the same thing if it was fucking Joe Biden doing this stream or Kamala. Like, this is so important to have, like, these raw conversations where it's live, so nothing can be cut, right? And it's just simple. Like, there's no fucking multiple cameras. Like, it's just one camera, the shitty mic, because I don't know why they haven't figured that out. Like, they just need to be able to have stuff like this. And guys, this will be the future. This is actually why I wanted to react to this. Like, man, like how much more are you going to be able to connect? I mean, just with anyone. For example, right? How you guys are watching, the 155 of you guys that are watching me right now, in a way, you guys are connecting to me more than like maybe a YouTube video that I've made where it's highly edited, produced, all these different things. There's voiceovers, music, sound effects. And of course, that's how you guys like found me. But through live streaming and things like this where it's raw, I can't fake anything, right? Look, I'm wearing a nice fit, but I'm also wearing shorts. Like I can't like hide stuff like that, right? But when it comes to like a highly edited video, there's things that I could take out so I don't make someone look bad, or I want to craft some sort of narrative, I can do so. But a live stream, you can't hide anything. So if you get asked a hard question and you don't know how to answer it and you're stuttering on your words, there's no editing it out. And I think that's so, so, so important, man, especially when it comes to deciding who you want to run your country. If you can't even, if you're only getting 5-minute snippets with like fucking softball questions and ads every other minute, how the fuck are you gonna know what their policy is and what they really, really stand for? Are they genuine? Do they know how to even answer hard questions? If they don't, then they're probably not really convinced in their policies or don't really even have one. You know, I think that's just so, so important. Oh, thank you for the 5. If you had a chance to, would you do interviews with the current candidates? Fuck yeah, I would. Fuck yeah, I would. Why not? I think that would be so important. Chat, what do you think? Y'all agree with me? Again, as good quads. Thank you. You know, you gotta work out. And I'm a soccer player, so I got that. Let's keep watching.
But I walk in, and this woman starts talking about She talked about let's get rid of the elephant in the room, and she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this out of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation. Actually, a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman was so rude.
So rude.
That, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a thing, and I do them a favor, and I do this. Most people said, why are you doing it? I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look you become the president for all of the people, not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for just my, they talk about my base, it's a very big base. But you become president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole...
She's strange. Did he really just say that, bro?
Thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are, look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like you need this next 4 years. If not, he's like, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people.
Wow. So I guess it is 20 million people. I mean, I think a lot of you guys said that too. That's crazy. 20 million people. What? Our population is around 300 million. That's like, can someone do the math? Like how much of a percentage of the population is that? Assuming our population is what? 300 million.
That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything, all men are created equal, as the expression goes, right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are
Yeah.
created equal. When they wrote that, it was a slightly different time. Today, that alone is a politically incorrect statement.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So all men and
It
women
is.
are created equal, everything. But
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Bro's kind of making good points, no? He's making good points, man.
the fact is, when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug dealers, all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly. And it has to be, we have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving.
What's crazy, guys, is like, wait, how many did you guys say was like tuning into like this live stream, like live? And then, you know, not even counting the bunch of, I'm sure tons of content creators are probably like reacting to it this second, including me, right? Like, I think you guys were saying 500K people were watching this shit live. And like, think about fucking Adin's audience, right? It's probably like kids, like maybe kids that like just turned 18 or probably even like lower. Like, I don't understand how like politicians aren't tapping into this more. Like, if I was Kamala, I'll be reaching out to like what, fucking Hasanabi or some shit, and like doing an interview with him. He's probably like the biggest like leftist streamer, right? Like, do you know how much of an impact you can make, not only for like this election, but like, let's say like they can't even vote yet, right? They're under 18. How much of an impact is that going to have if their favorite streamer that they tune into each and every single night is like interviewing this person, is like, oh, I really endorse this candidate. Dude, that's going to have repercussions for like years, right? Which is insane if you think about it. Yeah, RFK has been doing podcasts just like Trump. It will be the future of media. And I think this is also exactly why I think the next presidents of our generation will absolutely be content creators, because they already have this distribution network, right? Like Mr. Beast, like before all the controversy that just happened, like I showed you guys in the beginning of the stream, he literally said that he would run for president. And guys, why would he not win? He has 200 million subscribers, and of course it's like around the world. But like, why would you also like not vote for like Mr. Beast over like, let's say, like a career politician, right? Like who's like a lot more believable? Someone who's kind of put like, I guess, their lives in a way like on the internet, or like someone who's just been in the swamp for decades. Yeah, I mean, it'll obviously be a lot harder, right? Because I'm just like also speaking it from like a very small bubble. It's like I'm a content creator. I'm obviously well versed in like the internet culture and all these different things. But there's obviously, again, 300 million Americans, some that are in rural fucking Texas, like where I was driving around today. Like they're not going to even know who fucking Mr. Beast is. And, you know, it's not going to feel comfortable also voting for that. Potato, here's some of my college debt. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for the dono. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm sucking up your time, your energy, your resources. You know, it's good. It's good. That sounded hella weird. All right.
Move into the next. Oh,
Oh, I didn't know they were allowed to applaud. That's
yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can keep applauding.
all right. That's common sense, right?
Oh, thank you for the dono, Guillerme. The youth vote is very important because it is a vote that multiplies votes. That is true. That is very true. I don't understand why politicians aren't tapping into this. It's insane.
You know, it is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates, be able to buy a house. You want to, so many different things. But you got to have common sense. And we're run by people. And, just a little thing. When I started campaigning almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back. Yeah.
That seemed like a sitcom ass like applause.
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Every one of my Jewish friends say, we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry Christmas.
Good. And Kamala doesn't.
She doesn't like it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's...
Do you guys think that was like one of the first like policing of like free speech? I feel like that was like one of the first ones that I heard that like you're not supposed to say Merry Christmas because not everybody like celebrates Christmas. You have to say like Happy Holidays. I feel like that was like one of the first ones that I've heard that like was kind of like around like political correctness. Is that just me?
Insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work on her.
Which is weird because if it's Christmas, it's fucking Christmas. It doesn't mean like when you say Merry Christmas, like you're saying fuck you to like everybody who celebrates like Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, It's not saying Merry Christmas and then fuck you all the other motherfuckers celebrating something different. That's not what people are saying, So the evolution of how politicians do political outreach. It's like when FDR did his fireside chats on the radio during the Great Depression. Very, very good point, bro. How did they go backwards from that? How did they go from literally like radio broadcast to... Yeah, dude, that's such a great point. How do they go from that to doing 5-minute snippets on Fox News and CNN where you can't where you're just getting softball questions? There's an ad every other like minute and you can't understand anything that like they're trying to even communicate. It's like a talk show host.
I want to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense, someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed out or do you think he made the decision to step down?
That's a good question.
He was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
It was horrible.
Okay. I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible. Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, they said, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible.
Right.
They never gave. They took away the great debate performance stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I
I think what makes Donald Trump such a great marketer, again, no matter what side you're on, you got to agree with that. I think what makes him so good, though, is that he understands the media and how they will react inside and out. It's like if he says this, he'll know that they'll react this way. If he, stays silent, they'll say this. Like I feel like understands the media inside and out. And I think one thing to remember too, guys, is like he's been in the spotlight before he was a president, right? He was obviously had that reality TV show, Apprenticeship or Apprentice, and he was even in like movies and shit. Like he's always kind of like involved in the culture in some way, somehow. Like again, right? Who else understands culture inside and out today? It's content creators. So it's not like I'm not just like saying this because like, oh my God, I'm gonna be the next president. I'm not saying that. But it does show you how important it is to know how to leverage the media, how to get attention, how to keep attention. Like that is the most fundamental skill right now. Because not only could that translate into more business, right? In this instance, it could literally lead to you becoming the next fucking president. That's a like chat, like think about that. That's pretty crazy. And it even like impacts how you guys speak. For example, right? I mean, it's the fucking kids in the chat, but like they say like skibbity, like you know what I mean? Like it's a toilet. And to be honest, I don't really know much about it. But like think about shit like that. When you don't know what to say, you just say something that you just keep seeing over and over again on TikTok or whatever. Like it also impacts how you literally see the world and interact with it. So media is so powerful, man. And it's just insane to me that more presidential candidates aren't leveraging this. And two, I will die on this hill. The next president will be a fucking content creator. I mean, put it this way, guys. Like, look at how even powerful this is. I'm just yapping to you guys. I'm watching a video. I could have just watched this by myself, right? I could have just watched this by myself. But right now, I'm just yapping, talking, and I've been able to hold at least like 150 of y'all like to watch with me. That's super important, man. Like, you know, like I'm just being completely honest and transparent. Like that's crazy. And we're like building that connection. Like you're getting to know me more than like just like the videos that you make. It's crazy how powerful independent journalism is compared to mainstream media. Exactly. I mean, and the thing is, guys, and a lot of what I'm saying right now is going to be in the next video is like, guys, if only mainstream media actually did their job, I wouldn't have a job. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have a job. Like if Fox News, CNN, like had crazy journalists that were, you know, in search of the truth, and they were putting out cool documentaries, and they were, you know, very integrity driven by their facts and the reports that they make. I wouldn't have a job. They have all the distribution, all the advantages in the fucking world. But it's the only reason, like they're not doing their job, and that's the only reason why you guys would rather probably listen to me commentate on this rather than like some Fox News host, right? That's exactly why no one is like listening to fucking Don Lemon since he went independent. And I keep slandering him, but like this guy had, you know, I mean, he's been doing it longer, but a crazy media career for like in all aspects of the world, the most successful that you can get when it comes to a media career, right? He was on a CNN host like for like years, decades, but then now he transitions over and look at his views, bruh. I bet you this fucking live stream alone will get more views than 5.6K. By the time it's like posted as like a VOD, that's crazy if you think about it, right? So like, it just shows you how much of a shift that it's made. Here in Brazil, we have a small group called MBL that carries out serious politics using the internet. I have actually heard about them. Some people have recommended me them. I obviously can't speak Portuguese yet, but yeah. Keep slandering him. Yeah, if the mainstream media did the job, I wouldn't do my mainstream media mini unit. Yeah. Don Lemon is such a tool. Yeah. So it's great. It's crazy. As opposed to Tucker Carlson, one of the large podcasts. That is true. Tucker Carlson had a very crazy or like rock solid audience. So when he left to go do something on his own independently, he was able to because people liked him as like a person. So yeah, but I think he's one of the rare cases, I'd say. Do you have any plans on being a political figure? Serious question. No, not really. Maybe after I make my money. Maybe after I make my money and it's like a different stage of my life. But yeah, maybe it might be cool. Maybe it might be cool, but I don't know. Nothing I'm really like thinking about at the moment. Never say never, right? At the end of the day, I'm building valuable skills by doing this. Who knows what can translate in the future? Because at the end of the day, am I always going to be doing only content? I don't know. Who knows, right? I have other interests. Who knows? Not saying I'm quitting or anything, but you never know what happens, right? Independent journalism company. That's the goal. I want to make. Yeah, I like businesses. I like building businesses. I am edging. Oh my god. Okay. Is that better? Yeah, I need help with like OBS, guys. I really need help with this shit. All right, let's keep watching.
I mean, I did fine, and he is he shouldn't have. Look, he's done tremendous damage to our country. He was a terrible president. He was the worst president we've ever had. She's, by the way, considered the most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's she's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her, and I think he's a really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is. But she was convenient. She was there. They have better people. I mean, they have much better. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were people that were thinking about running. They would have run, except that they didn't want to go through this roadblock with her, and because you're the vice president. So they wanted to go pick them, and I think virtually every one of them is considered better, smarter, would be a better president than her. But we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
She'll ruin it. I mean, already it's ridiculous what she's saying.
And by the way, the youth is so important because youth tends to be Democrat, and as they get older, they become Republican. It's what's happened. We can't wait 50 years.
That is true. That is definitely true. And I also wonder, though, is because I think the left has done a way better job when it comes to being a part of culture and, controlling media as well as schools. So I think it also makes sense. But I think it's also just a natural consequence, right? As a young kid, it would be kind of weird if you were conservative, right? That'd be kind of weird. If you're like a fucking 8-year-old kid and you're like, I want to keep things the same. I don't want to change the world. I'll be a weird fucking 8-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Imagine an 8-year-old kid being like, just acting like completely conservative. That'll be weird as hell, bro. But it is interesting. But they are finding trends right now where I think Gen Z men are becoming like more conservative, whereas Gen Z women, yes, this is it. Check this out. This is really interesting. Let's see if I can go on this. Yeah, this is better. Check this out. Political identities of 12th grade boys. So that's like seniors in high school. Percent identifying as liberal or conservative. That's like really interesting. So red is men. Look at that. Look at how big that gap is, whereas blue is women. That's pretty crazy. Oh, my fault. This is all 12th grade boys. Most are identifying as conservative, and then only that as liberal. And it's the exact opposite, inverse, but the inverse for 12th grade girls. Peace, Yasser. Thanks for joining. I'm an 8-year-old Giga Chat conservative David Goggins loving Sigma male. But this is crazy if you think about it. Like, that's a pretty ideological shift. This is also happening in Korea. This is also happening in Korea. And Korea is interesting too, because they have had a big, so this is the wide ideology gap that is opening up between young men and women in countries across the world. Look, you can see this trend happening everywhere. Not only from South Korea. I mean, South Korea, I think, has the most pronounced, where men are becoming more conservative, as you can see. where women are becoming more liberal, as you can see. Same thing for the US, like we just covered. And this is for people 18 to 29. So that's like my age range, right? So essentially people that are on Gen Z / millennial. Germany, right? And even the UK. Like that's pretty crazy if you think about it. Why do you think that that is in the first place? I think, I mean, to be honest though, I also wonder because I think women in general always tend to be more liberal than men, right? Not like you can also see it in like represented in the jobs that are mostly liberal. So for example, education, mostly ran by women in a way. Um, you know, especially like teaching, especially when it gets to like elementary or high school. It's mostly women, right? I don't know. I think women tend to be more liberal, just as like just how women are and how men are, right? Men are to protect, men are to provide. So in that instance, you're kind of like thinking of that as a priority. Whereas like women are the ones that are usually in nonprofits, right? I don't know, just a theory. This is not based by stats or anything, but just my thoughts.
We make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them.
As a male teacher, teaching is mainly a female dominant industry. Yeah. I bet you're like definitely one of the only men, right? In your school. I don't know how big your school is or not, but
I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I said, don't tell me that. But make the move now. Don't wait 50 years. Our country doesn't have 50 years.
Damn. That's crazy to think about. I want to ask you a question. She did a rally recently. She had a rapper speak, and then she had a rapper twerk at a rally.
Yeah.
A rapper was twerking at a rally.
Yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on that. It's crazy to me to think that there could be twerking.
dude, I
at a
gotta
rally.
say,
Well,
this
what
is
Hillary-
probably the best PR that Trump has probably gotten, man. Like cumulative views. I'm so curious how many people watch this shit. Right? Even like I can add 163 people on to this number at least. Also, how does this only have like 300K views? That's kind of crazy.
Hillary did is she would go out and get Bruce Springsteen. He'd get much smaller crowds than I got, to be honest. And he had a guitar, right? I don't have a guitar. But he would fill up a place, and then he'd finish, and they'd all leave, and she'd be speaking. So now Kamala's doing the same thing because nobody wants to go watch her. Nobody.
No.
I mean, she speaks for like a short. Nobody's going to want to watch her, and nobody does want to watch. Now, at least there's a little bit of curiosity, but there's no value really in going and watching her. So what she did is she's gotten a couple of rappers, and they fill up the place. But what she does is a little bit different. She has them go last. That's smart. I give. So in other words, they want her to finish her speech, get the hell off the stage, and then they can listen to the
The
rap.
performance starts.
No, it's pretty.
That's kind of smart.
Hillary did. No, I give her credit.
Yeah, give it to her a little bit.
Hillary never figured that out. She'd get some star, and the star would fill up the place, and then the star would leave, they would leave, everybody would leave, and she's talking to an empty stadium. Anyway, this is a little better idea.
Yeah. I want to.
That's kind of wild though, no? Getting like artists to like come perform. I mean, I don't care if it's rappers, just like damn, they honestly like maybe Kamala might bring out like fucking Taylor Swift. You know what? Dude, that would be smart. If she did something like that, like I'm sure that will help the Democrats a lot. Like I'm like this is like I just think that this is probably like one of the best PRs that you can do.
I want to move on to the fun stuff now. I think we've definitely talked on some ideas and policies, excuse me. But I want to move on to the fun stuff because you are a fun guy. I've heard a lot from a lot of people how cool you are, especially Dana. Shout out to Dana. I know you're watching.
Dana.
Yeah, he's the
There's
greatest.
nobody like him. I always say everybody can be replaced except Dana. Because this guy travels the world looking for fighters, okay? Get me fighters. He doesn't care where they, from countries nobody ever heard of. And that's where he finds the best fighters. Now,
Yeah.
he cannot be replaced. He's truly great at what he does.
He's the coolest. I know you're a UFC fan, right?
I am.
Who are like your favorite fighters?
Well, I think Khabib, I mean, how good is Khabib?
See, even questions like this, right? Like you wouldn't have time to do that in a mainstream segment. Like even like, innocuous like questions like this, like that must help with like connecting with like your audience, It's like, oh shit, he likes Khabib, I like Khabib too, I'm gonna vote for him, like it's like little shit like that. Like I'm sure like the fact that I like soccer, some of y'all like soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, you're probably like, oh shit, Ken likes soccer. I don't know. Little things like that. It's also how you make friends, Yeah, Messi or Ronaldo, Messi, not even close.
Do you know who Khabib is?
Of course I know Khabib is.
Khabib was 29, I guess 29, 28 and 0, and then his father died and he stopped. But I think he never lost. I don't think he ever lost a round. Like
Wow.
he fought many times.
Chad, I'm getting tired. You guys want me to keep going? Type of W or L.
He never lost like a round. And I thought he was a great. I got to meet him at a fight 2 fights ago because I walk in with Dana. Sometimes I do this walk in, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where I first met you.
Yeah, that's right. Come to that.
Yeah.
If I didn't get any applause, you wouldn't want me on this show. You'd say, forget him. No, we get big applause. We walk in together.
It's crazy. You shut it down.
No, I met Khabib though, and he was very. He came to me and he said, "You're the man that can stop the war," because he's talking about the war with Ukraine, Russia.
Of course.
Because he knows they're his people. I mean, on both sides, right? There's so
That's
many
true.
people
That's pretty
dying
crazy.
in that war, and the whole culture is being destroyed. The cities are coming down. They're just pouring bombs in, and he really.
Have you
it was
watched this
amazing.
already again? No, I
we
haven't
weren't talking
watched
about
this.
fighting. We were talking about a different kind of fighting, a much worse kind of fighting, and he was very concerned about that whole thing, that war. He said, "You can get it stopped, and I can get it stopped. I will have that stopped before I assume off. I will, if I win the election. The first thing I'm going to do is get Putin and get Zelensky. I know them both very well, and get them to make a deal because it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
It is. And it's like your rallies in the crowd, huh?
I know. I like this crowd. I think it's good. I like you people. You know what they are, though? They're people that want to see the country do well.
That's it.
It's people that just like.
I'm so
they
curious
don't
on
wanna
where
see
that hand
crime.
movement shit came
They don't
from.
want to be mugged, because they're selfish in that respect. They'd prefer not being mugged, right? But they don't want other people to be mugged, beaten up, shot, and killed. In Chicago, on July.
I have a funny story for you guys. You guys know how I recently did like the "Who are you voting for" video? So I don't know if you guys remember it or haven't seen it yet. Then go watch it. Let's see. I talked to these.
Fob
yeah,
so much,
actually,
literally.
Wow.
First of all, I'm gonna vote, but if I did vote, I
I
would.
saw these black dudes outside of like all these like museums. So I decided to interview them because they were selling a bunch of Trump merch. So I asked them like, so like, who are you gonna vote for? They're like, I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. I was like, bro, you're wearing like a Trump flag. Like, are you? I thought you were obviously gonna say Trump. And he's like, nah, man. To be honest, I just only sell like Trump merch because it makes the bag and it sells like crazy. And I was like, oh shit, really? So then, how about like, do you guys sell like Biden merch at all? And he's like, no. Like no one's buying that shit. I don't even know if there's if there even is like Biden merch. So that was like kind of funny, but yeah, that is like interesting, right? You can see it like in this interview, like he is a charismatic person, clearly, right? Or else he's not going to be able to galvanize the support that he does. I mean, it's insane how good this guy is at marketing, and I think. Guys, again, I'm going to keep hammering it home. That's why the next presidents will be the content creator.
July 4th weekend, they had 117 people shot. Think of this, you live there. 117 people were shot, 17 died. This is in one weekend, July 4th weekend.
Wow.
I mean, nobody wants that. If you're living in Chicago, you have a good chance of, something bad happening. When you're going to go buy a loaf of bread, and something really bad could happen. So We don't want to, and they don't want that. The people behind me, who I just met briefly, they're great, but they're like other people. People don't want crime. They don't want to go to wars. They want to be able to make money. They want to be able to have a good life. They want a great education, all the things that you want, just the basic things. And we don't have that now.
It's really sad, honestly. And I
Well,
know,
think of this, Israel, you're Jewish. Are you a fan of Israel?
yeah,
It would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened if I was president. And everybody admits it. Iran was broke. They had no money. I wouldn't let anybody buy oil from Iran. As soon as Biden comes in, he didn't have a clue. He let everything happen. But Iran was totally broke. They had no money. And I wouldn't let them nobody. China, I said, you buy oil from Iran and you can't do business in the United States. They said, we'll pass. I mean, that's fine. But I did that with everybody. And we would have had a deal, 100% we would have had a deal, and there would have been no attack. There was no money left. Iran had no money. We would have made a deal. We would have made a fair deal for them. I would have loved to have made a fair deal. I'm not looking to, I just want them, they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. So what happens is,
Yeah, I do wish that Adin would ask why or help clarify, because obviously, not everybody in his audience is also going to follow what he is saying. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think a lot of people have said like Trump has done very well when it comes to like foreign policy. And I guess it's interesting right now because obviously there's a lot of conflict out there, right? Especially like things are heating up every day when it comes to the Middle East. Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I wonder if that's actually the biggest impact that you can bring as a president is like foreign policy, because essentially, right, you're a figurehead. You're essentially a figurehead. So I feel like that's where you can really bring like the value.
we worked very hard on that. And then he comes in and he allows everybody to go. China now is buying millions, billions and billions of dollars worth of oil. And Iran now is a very rich country.
You know damn well Adin Ross
And
isn't
October
following any of
7th
this
would have
shit.
never happened. And it wouldn't happen because they didn't have the money to pay Hamas and Hezbollah and all of these, they call them instruments of terror, a lot of different names. And so October 7th would have never happened. The recent attack on the park would have never happened. That was so graphic and so, normally you don't see that. Normally the media cuts it off, but they didn't have time to cut it off because it was during the day, very public. And you'd see children with their legs cut off. Those initial scenes were so horrible, where a rocket landed in a little soccer field. Just terrible. All of that stuff would have never happened.
Thanks for
And we'll
joining
get
me
it
here, man.
stopped fast, by the way. We'll get it stopped fast. There's no games.
amazing. Well, everyone that's watching, everyone behind, just know that your vote really does matter. And you guys really have a big decision coming up in November. You guys got to really go out there and vote for the right person, which is him.
Wow, that's come in.
So that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Chad, what do you guys think about this? I think it's slowly starting to wrap up.
Alley-oop there.
It's funny that
Let me
you
speed
do.
it up a
Now I
little
know
bit.
why you're so popular, because I've been on for years with people that really do like me, and they're even fair to me and everything else. But they wouldn't do what you just. They wouldn't say, "Vote for him." They do. They're short of that. They wouldn't do it. They do, and they vote for me, but they wouldn't say it. I think it's great that you can say something like that. I think it's ethical, it's fair, it's smart. And if you felt that way about somebody else, that's okay too. But you have journalists today, like that one that intercepted me literally. That was like a
This is
booby trap.
interesting.
I walk in and she starts saying, "We got to start a meeting." She didn't say, "Oh, thank you very much for being here."
No.
Just like the worst. And frankly, if I owned that network, I would fire her so fast. It was so inappropriate.
I think he's saying that is refreshing. That, I mean, obviously Adin Ross isn't a journalist, right? He was just saying that, yeah, I'm gonna fucking vote for you. Like, I guess that must be, refreshing. Just being honest about it. And I think there's actually no problem with that. I think a lot of people have problem with like the media. It's when they present themselves, they're like keep expounding on the fact that they're unbiased like network, but then clearly show like signs of bias. Like, you can't really distrust someone if they're being honest, right? What if CNN was just like, yeah, like, or like the journalists are like, look, I don't really like you, but I want to do my job well, and I want to just challenge you and confront you in a fair way, so then I can get to like the bottom of your beliefs. Like that's gonna be a lot more like I don't think anyone can really be mad at that, right? Because you're more so seeking to understand instead of just trying to dunk on that person. Yeah, I don't mind streamers saying that. And again, it's a different context because they're streamers. Only hate when journalists who are clearly biased pretend not to be. Exactly. It's like that's also why, guys. Like whenever I'm gonna make a video and I have a strong opinion about it, like moving forward, and I started have been, I'm gonna tell you guys what I think. I'm gonna tell you guys like, hey, this is what I think going into it. But hey, I'm gonna talk to these people. I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna form my thoughts, and then look, if I change my mind, I'll also tell you guys that. I think that's also just a lot more relatable, right? I think that's actually the most unbiased thing that I could do is be like, look, these are my biases. This is my opinion. I don't agree with this shit. I think these guys are stupid, but I want to talk to them. I want to talk to them, and then you guys decide to with me if you guys will change your mind. I think that's just a lot more truthful, no? And I think that's actually how I view the middle ground now. Because like I think people get it fucked up. When I say that I'm middle ground, that doesn't mean that I don't have an opinion or I'm a pussy or a grifter or a pushover. You know?
And I actually, once you sort of walk out, then you put the guard up, and you actually give less information than what you would have. They did it with sugar, right? But she doesn't know about sugar. That one, that was sort of terrible. It became viral, #1 viral.
Yeah.
And it was the question that was viral. I think my answers were sort of good.
They were really good.
I think they considered to be. I can't brag, but they were considered to be very good. But the level of
Adin is glazing hard.
craziness.
I mean,
And you don't know.
let's be honest. If anybody like brought in like the president, and he wants to vote for him, so there's that too.
Or is that from her? But ABC, I've said for a long time, ABC is one. You have George Slopadopoulos. I don't know if you know him.
Is Middle Ground by Jubilee a good show? No, because I'm not hosting it anymore. Nah, I'm just playing.
But he's a nasty guy. You sit down. And yet, to Biden, he interviews Biden. I said, there's no way that Biden can handle this guy if the guy is like normal,
Right.
like he normally is.
Yeah.
He was so nice to Biden. He asked him and then when Biden couldn't answer, which he can't answer most of the questions because he has no clue where he is, Slopadopoulos is giving him the answers. He's giving the question. And isn't it true that you really don't want to see war? Isn't that true? Yeah. No.
This guy's funny, man. This guy's funny.
The whole thing is crazy. Anyway.
I want to real quick talk about one thing. It was super important to me when I saw it. Censorship. I don't know if you saw what Elon had posted. Elon basically showed if you were to Google Donald Trump about a week ago, all you see is Kamala. That's all you see is Kamala.
Yeah, I have seen that. Wait, guys, have you guys seen that? Let's put this to the test. So here, just so you guys can get some context.
Crazy. Google was really, really trying to push her.
So I saw this on Twitter and I never tested it, but apparently, if you type in Donald Trump, okay, let's see. Okay, no, I think they corrected it, but I think I did see like on Google searches. Oh, actually, guys, I talked about this in my newsletter. So if you guys, sign up for my newsletter. This was one of the episodes that I talked about. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. But anyways, yeah, I think after they probably got caught, they stopped doing so. It was something like, yeah, look at this. Which is I think that's wrong. I think it's clearly wrong. Why is Google suppressing the search about Trump assassination attempt? These are all screenshots from it this morning. Yeah. I think this was more so with the assassination stuff, but still. I think it was this too. President Donald Trump, no, like it was only just news about Harris. That's weird, man. That's weird.
So Google is really crooked. It's horrible. when they had the word assassination up, because, you know, there was a big moment a few weeks ago where I got whacked. I got whacked. And whether it's me or anybody else, it was a terrible thing. Terrible thing. For our country, it was terrible for everything. And when you put up the name...
Content creators are an opposition stream, bad moments on video for any commercial. That's actually a good point. But if you think about it, every political candidate in the next generation is going to have dirt like that. Whether it's like, you know, footage of them getting fucked up at a college party, or they said the N-word as a 13-year-old kid on Twitter, right? I think everybody's going to have dirt like that, where that's not going to be as like weighed heavily, or else everybody's going to get fucking canceled. You know what I mean? Like, I think even stuff like that is starting to die out a little bit. It's like, bro, who doesn't have like crazy shit that they used to say when they were a 13-year-old kid on Facebook? I think a lot of people are going to have that. The digital footprint on everyone's going to be bad.
The word assassination, it went to Lincoln, it went to many other people, many of whom I didn't even know there was an attempted assassination.
Everybody has dirt like that, but would you say content creators are held to a higher standard on Twitter and by the younger audience? Yes, of course, right now. But what I'm saying is, like, by the time it gets to the next generation where the content creators are becoming the president, I have a prediction that it's not going to be weighed as heavily, you know? I mean, think about how much this game evolves so much year to year. And think about how different YouTube was 5 years ago, 3 years ago, a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
The only one it didn't have was Trump. Think of it. And when you put up the word assassination, it also sent you to Kamala. And people were really angry at it. Look, something wrong with Google. I don't know if it's the people running it inside or the smaller people, so to speak, the people that are actually doing the nuts and bolts. I doubt it. It's got to come from the top. And it's so illegitimate, they have to do something about it. And, I mean, the market speaks. Everybody should maybe just go off Google, not use it. There are so many other things. Watch your show instead. But there are so many things. No, Mark Zuckerberg called me, and he apologized.
Just look at someone like Vivek, who was a nobody but hit all the big content creators hard, and that propelled them into Trump's inner circle. 100%. Everybody here, if you were watching this live stream right now, you know who Vivek is, right? I mean, you know, and a big part of that is because you guys watch YouTube. You guys watch a lot of content. And that's where he was everywhere.
Apologized. They actually had it where, you know, AI is dangerous. It's going to be with us, but it's very dangerous. They actually had the Secret Service agents were very brave, because when I was being shot at, there were 8 shots. And as soon as they heard that first gun, I did think I did a good job, because I heard and I went down. You know, when you hear bullets, you tend to drop to the floor if you're intelligent.
Of course.
If you're not intelligent, like, I don't think Joe would have dropped to the floor. I think it's...
No, I think you would have just been like, what's going on?
Hey, what?
Bro is the master at this shit.
What is that?
Where are those bullets?
Is that a bird?
Oh, there they are. There they are. No, I don't think he would have dropped to the floor.
Right.
But anyway, it's when you hear this and when you see what's going on, and he called up, and there's a very iconic picture that was taken. But there's a number of them, actually. But there's one in particular that was very iconic, and it's been on the covers with the fists up. And the secret agents, service agents, and you know, I know they're going through a little bit of a questioning period. Let me tell you, these people were brave, because those bullets were coming at me, and I heard them. They were whizzing over my head. I had the one here, and I went down, and they were whizzing over.
Dude, what's crazy is, did any of you guys hear a breakdown like this in any other outlet? Is this like the first time where he's kind of like breaking it down like this? Like, this is crazy, guys. Like, it's on stream. Am I the only one that's like, this is insane? And again, I don't care who the presidential candidate is. Even if it was Joe Biden talking to Adin Ross, I don't care. This is crazy.
And I had 7 people, maybe, a lot of people, a lot of very big people on top of me within seconds.
Right.
And a lot of people that I know would not have done that. Aiden, I'm telling you, when bullets are coming right over you, and you got people willing to, I asked a couple of them, they expected to die. They actually expected to die, and I understood that.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened that was amazing is within 5 seconds, the sniper, the Secret Service sniper, from a much further distance, 1 bullet, and didn't know about it. Now, it was a communication problem, a big one, and had it taken place, you know, 10 seconds earlier, would have been good. But there was a communications problem. But he, supposedly, I don't think he knew. I mean, I've gone through it too. I don't think the sniper knew anything about it. He may have heard there could be a problem, but he didn't know anything about it. Think of it. A thing like that happens. He went by the gun and the fire of the gun. And I guess when the bullets come out, you see fire. And he was able to see that from probably more than 300 yards away. So that's 3 football fields. That's a lot. And one bullet took him out. And if he didn't shoot him, you would have had probably a lot of people dead.
Right.
Probably a lot of people would have been dead. He had a lot of bullets up there. He had a powerful gun, and he had a lot of bullets up there. And the reason he stopped was he got hit 5 seconds. That's a pretty amazing job when you think, it's sort of a surreal experience. Right?
Yeah.
And you could say that for them, too. And they go years, and they don't have to do that. They don't have to shoot people. And then all of a sudden, they're confronted, and they see somebody firing. And a lot of people wouldn't react like that. They wouldn't, they'd say, let's call in and find out what's going on.
Right.
His reaction time, I think, was amazing. So there was a big communication problem, and they'll get that straightened out. But the Secret Service people were very brave, and that sniper was very talented to hit a target like that from so far away.
Right. Mr. President, I do want to say, first of all, you took a bullet for everyone in this room, everyone watching, everyone. The reaction that you gave, no other president is going to do that. They're going to either remain, where they are. You are a brave man. You stood up and went like this, and it was a pretty badass picture, by the way.
Well, I will say, though, that the audience was very brave also, the fans, the people, and it's much more than MAGA. Although I think MAGA is almost everybody, because it's what we talk about.
Yeah.
But all of those people were tens of thousands of people, as far as the eye could see, and then the people in the back. And those are the people you see, because the cameras are focused on that. We have the bleacher in the back with, 100 to 150 people or something. But those people never moved. And if you go to crowd, we had a crowd control type person, said whenever a bullet is fired, they know a bullet and they know a sound. And we had a lot of bullets fired. So when you think of it, plus the Secret Service, whenever a bullet's fired, everybody empties out immediately. They immediately leave and they empty out. The whole stadium, and they call it a stampede, like in cattle.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get killed with stampedes. They get literally
Stomped
walked
over,
over. Many people die in soccer stadiums. But when a bullet goes off, everyone leaves, almost every time.
Yeah.
Nobody left. And you had the man behind me. He's looking like this. He's looking. There was no fear. It was amazing. They knew that I was in trouble. They saw that. They saw the blood, because the blood, I guess you get hit in the ear. I can tell you, a lot of blood when you get hit in the ear. That's one thing we learn. We learn all these things, unfortunately. But
it's still insane how he survived that shit. I mean, obviously, he was supposed to die. It's insane, man. I think if he did not turn his head, he would have been gonzo. It's insane.
He saw there was a big problem. Normally, when they hear that, they're all, they disperse. Nobody left. I mean, you take a look at that. Now, that was a microcosm of what was out in front of me, because the speech was being made to thousands of people.
Right.
And nobody there was leaving either. It was really amazing. They knew there was a problem. And when I got up, they were confused, because Secret Service was lifting me. I guess I was getting up, and I'm looking for my shoes. I didn't want to go on they had stretchers and stuff. I didn't want to go on stretchers. I didn't want to do that. But it was amazing. And they were confused, because you could be up, but you're not looking too good. And I felt it was important to let people know that I was okay and our country was okay, in a true sense that our country was okay. And so I did that. And the audience was just, they were, USA.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there would have been a civil war that would have happened if he was assassinated?
Wild. It was a hell of a horrible experience, but I learned a lot about the love in this country. Think of it. A bullet goes off, everyone leaves. And his bullets going off. They just,
again, a true hero.
They were heroes. The way they didn't move, you have to watch that group, because that was the same as the group in front, the big group. And it wasn't like, geez, normally they say, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
how do we do
that's
this?
true.
They
just
weren't.
stood
They
and
saw
watched.
I was in trouble.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to move.
No.
And many of them were standing up, and they were looking. One man in particular with a floppy hat and wearing like a black T-shirt, and he's out there just looking. It's a fascinating thing to see. And when you hear crowd control people say, we can't even imagine that happened, that shows their love for me, maybe, but for the country. And it was pretty amazing.
That's great.
Thank you.
So I got you a gift.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think he's broke it down like that since it happened on any other media outlet besides a fucking Adin Ross stream. Insane, no?
A couple gifts.
Oh, good. That's good.
I'll show another gift. I'll show you, sorry, the second gift a little bit later.
Okay.
But I did get you a gift, and I got you this gift because, look, you are, I feel like you constantly get beat on, but you're so strong, and you just, like I said, you live
The
for
glaze is crazy. The glaze is literally making bubbles on it.
the people, and you're a hero. I want to present to you this gift right here. I hope you like watches, Rolexes.
Oh, that's a beautiful watch.
Damn.
Should I open it?
You should open it
Rolex.
and then show the camera.
That's a great watch, actually. Good company. They're good company.
You like Rolex?
They like Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player and Arnold Palmer and all the golf guys and all the other guys, too. I do. This is beautiful. Wow. Thank you. Don't they have nice packaging?
They do. Really, really nice.
Wow, that's so nice. Oh, should I show that to the audience?
Yeah, they can see it.
It's so crazy because like you can just tell by his reaction. I'm sure he's like thankful, but it's like he probably has thousands of these fucking rollies. You know what I mean? It's like just getting like a gift card to Starbucks for $25.
Oh, I didn't know this. Now I know it's worth it. Wow. Well, my boys said, well, that's such a big show. I don't know what you're doing, but you really are respected. Amazing. I mean,
I appreciate it.
I go into other shows, nobody does a big deal about it.
I do want to say also,
Thank you very much.
shout out to Nelk boys. I know you love Nelk.
Oh, they're great.
They're the greatest.
Well, that was through Dana. Dana's very much into this world. Dana's
That's what I'm saying, Usman. A streamer. It's crazy.
a young guy, sort of.
It like motivated me to do the stream today. I was like, bro, what the fuck am I doing saying I'm too tired? I need to be grinding. I need to be fucking making my mark on the live stream game. What the fuck am I doing saying that I'm too tired because I filmed and drove all day? Fuck that.
Yeah.
He's a young guy.
Yeah.
But Dana is into this world like he could be an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
He knows more about you and the Nelk brothers and the Nelk boys. And he asked me to do their show. And I will tell you, I got a tremendous response. You do some of these big shows, you do like 60 minutes and nobody cares. You do Nelk or you, and I can already see so many
See
people.
Steven talking about it.
Show with Adin.
Oh, wow.
I said, I've had a lot of calls. So it's like a new wave.
Yeah.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
Who would think it?
He's
And
smart for
sometimes
tapping into
television is
that.
not the big deal. I sort of feel that television will always be television.
Yeah.
But numbers aren't like they used to be.
No, I would say, live streaming and YouTube is kind of like the new age television for, younger people. So I did have
It really is. Live stream really is just, like all the cable news that people, you or your parents like grew up watching. That's all live too for the most part. But live stream, like there is a power to this live stream shit. And thank you guys. Like guys, this whole stream, I think we've broken a record so far. I think this is the most I've gotten for a stream. And 150. We got like 150 consistent. Like that's really fucking impressive to me. And I'm gonna guys, give yourselves a W. Thank you guys for watching. Like, yeah, are you guys enjoying this? Like, I want to make sure like I'm giving you guys value in that, you guys aren't. I mean, no one's gonna just stay because you're obligated, but like I really appreciate you guys showing up in the chat too. Like genuinely, we love our forehead daddy. This is super fun. Fuck yeah. No, guys, thank you for being the first 150, man. Like the next goal is we're gonna break that 200, then 3, 4, 5, 6, and then guys, we're gonna keep making it the new standard. That wow, we got 500. That's an average stream, and then boom, let's get 1,000. Only streamer I choosingly watch. Appreciate that. And we'll start innovating, right? Like I just want to make sure like I can get like a good floor just by doing like these talking head where I don't have to plan much because obviously, I'm still doing a lot of different things. But then why not get into in real life stuff? And then once we get the numbers, we can collab with other people, right? Why don't I do an in real life investigation where I have a camera guy with me? Like I have a lot of ideas for this shit. And I think none of the people in my space are doing like in real life investigations like I want to do with these streams. Think about how fucking sick is that going to be? I'm glad you're enjoying streaming. I am. This is fun, man. I actually get a lot of energy from it. I haven't ate dinner yet. I haven't ate fucking dinner yet. I need to eat. You seem relaxed and comfy, but also hype. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of energy from this. I genuinely enjoy it. Tyler Oliveira versus Gen Wen. Boxing match? Is there even good food in Austin? No, it's the most overrated fucking city for food. Everybody's like, Austin is great food. There is, but like dude, it's so overrated. It's so overrated. It's nothing like LA or New York or San Francisco. Eat rice. I will be. I will be making some ground beef and rice after this shit. Um, I love YouTubers collaborating with each other because energy is so much fun. Yeah, I can start interviewing like the other people in my space. Why not? Right? Why not? But let's finish this up.
Some clips I wanted to react to.
Okay.
So this is the fun stuff I wanted to get
Sure.
into. Let's get into the reactions right here. This is so cool. I'm actually reacting with you. All right.
You know, I put you on Truth. That
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Truth is my voice, you know.
Yeah.
And it's doing great.
Yeah.
Everybody should go on Truth.
Yeah.
But I will say that I put you on that we're doing the show together, and the response was very cool.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
I love it. Okay, so shout out to Nelk, but they kind of gave me this idea. I have 2 segments I want to do with you.
Okay.
The first one is use one word that comes to mind to describe that person. Okay?
Okay.
It's a fun game.
Fun.
Let's start. All right, who is the first picture? And we got the Nelk boys. One word.
Steven, is my thumbnail corny? I made that myself, and I never make my own thumbnails, but I was like, you know what? I need something to at least like explain what this like video's gonna be. I made it on Photoshop. I'm so shit at design.
Great.
I love that. Okay,
Really
great.
good.
Okay.
So you're friends with them.
Yeah.
Are they competitors of yours, though?
Not even, honestly. You know, every time that you know, I speak to Kyle or Steve,
Yeah,
it's just only
they're
love.
all great.
They're really, really
No,
good.
they're
Jimmy.
just great.
Yeah.
But in a way, you would be competitors, but you don't.
They're more bigger on the YouTube side of things. I'm more
Right.
live, so it's a lot. It's
see.
a different
I see. So
world,
it's different,
but
yeah.
it's kind of like parallel.
Look at them. I mean, they're just great people. That was Dana White. He said, you got to do them. I said, who are they? I didn't know. And after I did them, it was like an explosion.
All right, let's see what we got next here. We got me.
Yeah. Well, I can just tell you that one word would be outstanding. My sons told me about you, and you know, they told me about how big Dad. You know, my Baron.
Yeah.
He said, Dad, he's really big. I said, yeah, but what about else? He said, he's also a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
But
What? They're friends?
Big stuff, Adin. So I just have to say, outstanding to do what you've done at a young age, and I know how old you are. You're young. You're seriously young. My suit is older than you are.
How old your suit?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think like why I'm also intrigued by streaming is that it's a lot doing these videos, man, with YouTube. It's like it takes a lot of effort, and streaming does too, right? It's like you know, it takes energy, but it's just like so cool that I could just flip this on and then immediately talk to like my audience. Like that's pretty like powerful.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, let's see who we got next. We got you.
Patriot. I'm a patriot.
Okay. Joe Rogan.
Interesting. He really is. He's an amazing guy. He's a very interesting guy.
See who we got next. Mr. White.
Oh, well, he's a fighter. I'll tell you, that guy, he fights. You wouldn't want to have him against you. A little bit true with all of these people that you're showing. There's a good one. Elon, a genius, truly a genius. You know, I see the rockets come down with the engines, and they're coming.
One thing I want to make clear, guys, is like I don't want to just talk about politics because also like look, right now it is an election year, so there's a lot to talk about. But that's also like something that I want to make clear is that I don't care about what liberal said this and conservative owns this. You know, it's tiring. There's so many other things that I'd rather talk about, and that's the kind of videos that I want to make. So I want to make that clear is that this isn't not gonna be just like a fucking politics channel, you know?
Down, and the engines are landing without any. They have no wings, no nothing. That was a couple of years ago. I said,
Right.
what is that? And I said, what was that all about? He says, well, we want to be able to save the engines, not that they go into the ocean and all. But he really is. He's a genius. He's also a very good person, Elon.
Next video is asking rich versus
got
poor
next here? We
the same
got-
controversial questions.
Kanye.
So he's very complicated. Let's say complicated. because he's a really nice guy, but he can get himself into trouble, and he can get some other people. But he's got a good heart. He does. But he's complicated, Kanye.
This is interesting.
Fake. All fairness, look, but she knows it. She's got a thing going. It's a good thing. She's a good thing for her. But there's a certain something she's got. She's got a spark. That's pretty amazing, actually. She's got a good spark.
That's actually a really honest take.
So
Like he called her fake,
I'll
but
say spark.
like knows
She
that
does
she's
have.
playing the
She
game.
gets
Like
a-
that's pretty interesting. Are you guys still there? I just got a notification that. Hello? Wait, are you guys still on with me? I got an error saying that YouTube is not responding. Type of one in the chat if you guys are still here. The hell? Oh, we back? We back? Type of one in the chat. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Okay, I'm like just getting all the messages.
And when she was running against a gentleman from Queens, and I asked his people, I said, are you careful? This guy was going to be Speaker of the House. It was going to be him, not Nancy Pelosi. And Joe, he is a good politician, a real pro, been around for a long time, many years in Congress. And I watched her on television one time. I saw a clip of her speaking, ranting, raving, going crazy. And I said, who's she running against?
Damn, is it cutting out again? Fuck. Bugging out? It's good now? We good? I don't understand why my internet's being super slow. I'm like just getting your guys' messages. Hey Alexa, stop. Okay, we're good. I'm like not getting anything. All right.
She's running against Joe. I said, oh, does he know what's going on? Oh, he's got no problem, sir. He's got no problem. I said, is he doing any debates? No, he doesn't have to bother with the debates. He's been there for years. I said, tell him I said that he should be careful. Because I saw her. And I said, she's Evita. I called her Evita. Maybe that's the best. Evita Peron, right? I said, she's Evita. She's in the streets screaming, shouting, going crazy, hugging people, hugging. Everybody's being